Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Joey Thomas, entrepreneur and small business educator here with 17 Hats. Now, in today's video, I just wanted to talk to you about the difference between a client experience and a client journey. See, I was at a mastermind recently, and I heard this actually used interchangeably quite a bit. And I thought to myself, I said, wait a minute, there's a little confusion between what a client experience is and what client journey is. So I wanted to break this down for you just a little bit so you guys can understand it and utilize it in the right way for your business. So let's start with a client journey. So what is that? So think about if you were to put a destination on your GPS and your GPS tells you turn by turn directions to get to a destination, that is your client journey. Now, depending on where you go and what your final destination is, the number of turns, right? The highways you have to take, the streets you have to turn on, all of those different things will be charted out a little differently on your GPS. Sometimes the road is a little slower, right? Lots more lights. Sometimes you get on a highway and you go a lot faster, right? And that's part of the client journey. Now, I can change what I experience on the way to my destination. And I could feel a certain way about that experience. For example, if I had two roads to choose from and one just gets me from A to B, and you know what? It does the job. But the other road, it does the job, but also gives me scenic views, right? And so if I take that, and I love scenic views and it makes me feel a certain way, that would equate to my client experience. So your journey is about the steps you take to get to a result. The client experience, it's about how you make a client feel along that journey. So how do we apply this to your business, right? Let's think about this. Let's think about just the way that we do simple contracts. So in my client journey, I need at a certain stage after I talk to a warm lead and they're ready to sign and pay, right? We know that's an essential part of the client journey. We got to sign a contract, we got to pay, we got to get them in the fold before we onboard them into our business. So we can do that. Now, the beauty with 17 Hats is that for that part of the client journey, we have this beautiful system where it puts quotes, contracts, and invoices in a seamless manner. Okay, so I could choose if I wanted to mail my clients a paper contract or to scan a contract, send it, and they need an app to sign it. You still have to find a way to store everything. You might put it in Dropbox, it might be paper file cabinets, whatnot. Now, check this out. This is the way that the client experience can change. That is one experience that you can have. But because of this quote contract invoice system and the fact that I can send that link over a text message on Facebook, in an email, and it makes it so seamless and easy to do, that changes the way the client experiences that part of the journey. It makes it easy. It takes stress away. They can be anywhere. They could be out shopping and they can quickly sign and pay for a contract or an invoice. And so now on your end, that changes your experience as well because it allows you to go ahead and keep all of that in the client database instead of having to file it in a filing cabinet, right? So that's the difference between a client journey and a client experience. So what's another part of a client journey? So let's say, for example, the sales session. In the sales session, and this could be the initial consultation after you sign, or this could be later in the process, whichever time that you are actually talking to your client and explaining your products, explaining your services, right? So we know that the sales meeting is a point on the client journey. But what do they experience during the sales meeting? Are you just laying it out? Here are the numbers. These are the things you choose. Choose A, B, or C. Done. Or is it something a little bit more exciting? Is it a little bit more connecting? Do you take time to ask questions and find the client's pain points? Do you take time to create solutions for them that fit their needs better than anybody else in the market? So guys, during a sales session, you could bring out something to drink, maybe some great snacks, maybe their favorite candy bars, right? Whatever it might be, make it comfortable, make it fun, make it seem personal. That is the client experience portion of that journey. So now that you understand the difference between your client journey and client experience, what are you going to do? First, you start with mapping out every step that your client takes from the moment they go to your website all the way to the point of delivery of your final service or your product, but even beyond. How do they feel afterwards? Do they feel taken care of? Do you bring them back into the fold and nurture them for future products and services? Are you asking for referrals, right? Those are all parts of the client journey. But at every point in the client journey, once you map it out, ask yourself, how do I want them to feel? Let's go one step further. If I make them feel this way, how is it going to affect the next step of their client journey? And so this is such a critical part of being able to make more money, to being able to close a sale, and to get referral clients. So guys, I hope I gave you a little bit of clarity on the client journey versus client experience. So go ahead, start mapping that out. And you know what? If you have some questions and you want to talk about it a little bit more, use the comments at the bottom here and let's start a conversation. And if you have not liked the 17Hats channel or liked this video, like it now, subscribe to the 17Hats channel, and we'll be back with more topics just like this. See you again soon.